ICT concepts alone are incredible, but what if I told you there were ways to make them work even better? My name is Faz and I've been trading for over 8 years now. And today's, in the very first lecture of this bootcamp, I'm going to teach you Orderflow. And we're going to start with the basics because if you don't understand the basics, you will not be able to learn what I'm about to teach you in the upcoming days. So get ready because shit is about to get real. So first thing first, we are going to be talking about the fixed range volume profile. So initially, we're going to start on TradingView, and then we're going to move on to professional tools like Deep Charts, Motive Wave, Sarah, and other order flow tools as well, and also Bookmap. So in this lecture, I'm going to teach you how to use the volume profile. And there are 3 shapes of volume profile. Now I'm using volume profile here, so this is what it would look like. So what you want to do first is apply a fixed range volume profile anywhere and copy these settings. So row size to 300 and value area volume to 70. Then you go to this style and make sure you copy these settings. Now, what is the volume profile? Why do we use it? A lot of people use it the wrong way. They use volume profile and they say, okay, we have a high volume node here, just buy if it breaks out, or, get a retest entry at this. So people wait for price to come back into the zone, right? And then they take a short position, which is totally wrong. I'm going to show you a very, very simple way to make your trading go from literally like 40% to 100%, if that makes sense. So here's the volume profile. So the volume profile comes in 3 shapes. First of all, what we have is a P shape, okay? Where most of the transaction happens in the upper portion of the entire volume profile. This is P shape, okay? You can clearly see we have a P shape volume profile. And there's the second shape, which is like this. And this is B shape, okay? P shape, B, look at this, B, right? And then we have a D shape. So something like this. Okay, this right here. So we have P, B, and D. Now in this video, I'm going to only talk about the D shape. I'm going to go over the P shape and B shape later on in the upcoming videos, but I want to talk about the D shape first, okay? So when you have a volume profile, so this is the value area high, this is the value area low. And let me also go over this here, okay, so I make things clear. When we draw out our volume profile, this red line is value area high. This red line over here is value area low. And this orange line is POC. POC is where most of the transactions or most of the volume is present within this volume profile. So most of the volume, most of the transactions happen around here. Anything below the value area low is abnormally. What do I mean by abnormally? It is an unacceptable price for the participants in this area. So typically when we are below the value area low, you want to look for buys. And typically when we are above the value area high, you want to look for sells. Okay? But you have to also look at the volume profile shape. So what is the shape of this over here? Is it P shape? Is it D shape? Or is it B shape? If you have noticed, it is clearly a D shape. Okay? It is clearly a D shape. You can see we have a D. Now, when we have D shapes, you can expect breakouts, significant breakouts. Okay? Not all the time, but there's a confirmation I'm going to teach you in this video. But when you have D shape, what exactly is happening within this level? So within this level, right, within the value area high and value area low, the participants are considering the price fair. They are happy with the prices here. And as I said before, anything that goes above the value area high is abnormally, and you're going to see a push to the downside. Anything that goes below the value area low, it's an abnormally, and people are going to push the price towards the POC, which is a magnet for price, and then the next target could be the value area high. You could trade this as well, but I'm going to teach you how to trade the breakout, because whenever you have a D-shaped volume profile, you want to trade the breakouts. Okay, so whenever price goes above the value area high, right? Price is in a discovery mood, and it is seeing if we can form a new range or a new balance upside. Right now, this is the balance of the price, okay? And price is going to go back and forth from value area high, value area low, value area low to value area high, value area high to value area low. You can scalp out these trades as well. But how do you trade a breakout? So first thing first, you can see we are consolidating here. Whenever we are consolidating, you most likely see a D shape, okay? A consolidating price action is considered to be a D shape. And when you drop volume profile, I'm going to also show you how to draw out the volume profile, okay? So let me just remove this. You can see we have an impulse from this low, and the impulse ended here, okay? So what you want to do is use your volume profile till here. Now, it's not giving you enough data. So what you want to do is use it till that high is broken. So let me just go here. Let me just draw it perfectly because it's not right. Okay, you can use it till whenever you like, when you start to see consolidating price action, you can draw it till there. So for example, from here, we have a swing low, swing high. So now price is consolidating clearly within this range from this high to this low. So you can use it like this. Okay, now it is giving you information. Now, how do we trade a breakout? I'm going to go over, this is a simple strategy that you can use right now on TradingView without using the order flow because I want to keep things simple. So whenever we break out of this level, so for example here, you do not want to take a long right away. What we are looking for is a new balance or new consolidation forming above the value area high or the value area low. So if I go here, what do you see? We are starting to consolidate above the value area high. We broke above this value area high. We do not want to take a long here because price can go back to value area low. We need to see a new balance form. This was the old balance of the price. This is the new balance. That means that the participants in the market are accepting higher prices, okay? And their goal is to push the price higher. So when you see price breaking out of the value area high in this case, and we have a D-shaped volume profile, you want to wait for consolidation, okay? And then within this consolidation, you're going to see, let's just draw it from here till here. Now you can clearly see, guys, this is a P-shape, kind of P-shape, but again, it is consolidation. Okay, but also it's kind of like a D shape as well. So now, first thing first, you identify consolidation. Okay, we have this significant consolidation above the value area high. Now the next step is you are waiting for a breakout of this consolidation range. So we broke out here, okay, and you could have taken your entry on the retest or a fair value gap over here. So that is how I combine like IST concepts with this. When we have a breakout like this, you can utilize the fair value gap. But then we have a cleaner breakout here, right? And then we can take our entry at the retest. And again, we have this auto block over here. And next thing you know, guys, price just pushes up, okay? And notice one more thing here. Let's just go here, and this is PM session. So I'm going to draw my volume profile till here. And again, we have another D shape, okay? Most of the volume is transacted in the middle of this range. So we have a D shape, okay? So notice what happened here. We went from value area high to value area low, from value area low to value area high. And then we broke out of the value area low, but there was no consolidation. The participants were not accepting the price here. Otherwise, we would see consolidation, okay? And then notice what happened here, guys. We broke out of the value area high over here. So you can see we broke out. And now we want to see consolidation. So if you look closely here, guys, what do we have? We have consolidation. So since we broke above the value area high, our bias is bullish. So even though we broke out of this to the downside, Again, what is our bias? We consolidated here, so participants are accepting the prices here, okay, above this previous balance. So what happens here next? We broke above this level. Now using order flow, sometimes price will not retrace back, okay? But using order flow, you can spot where you should buy, okay? But since this is a basic video, I'm going to go over everything in the upcoming videos, guys. You can see we broke out. Bam, like that. Just like that, 1 to 2 risk reward. So very simple, guys. I'm going to give you guys a lot of examples after this. I'm just talking about the D shape right now. I'm going to go over P shape and B shape as well. But simple stuff, guys. When you start seeing consolidating price action, you draw out your volume profile from the swing low of the consolidation and swing high, right? And then you want to keep marking the, so for example, we have the swing low and swing high, right? You want to use your volume profile until you are seeing a consolidation, okay? So right here, you can say, okay, this is where the consolidation is, and then we had a breakout. This is not consolidation. We broke out. When we break out of the value area high, which is this, again, anything above the value area high, when we are in a D-shaped profile, you can sell, okay? But what happened here, guys? We broke out of the value area high and we started consolidating above the value area high, meaning that the participants are accepting higher prices and they are creating a new balance here. So if I go here, guys, and use my volume profile till here, in the fractal terms, you can clearly see we have a D shape once again. So this is the new balance, okay? And what happened here? When we broke below this level, where did we go? We retested the previous value area high. And then using order flow, you could have also taken a long from here. But since it's a basic video at the moment, what you would have done is looked for a breakout like this, or you could have also used a body, but that is a bit risky, something like this, right? You could have entered somewhere around here, but this would have been a safe entry. So you could have taken a long here, right? And you could have put your stop below this, and you could have targeted 1 to 2. So let me give you guys some examples, and then we'll move on. All right, guys, so here is example number 1. So I'm looking at NQ on the 1-minute chart, and later on in the video, I'm going to also teach you how to identify your daily bias using volume and order flow and all that stuff. But for now, you need to understand this and make sure you take notes. So right away, if I come onto the charts at this time, at 10:34, I'm seeing, okay, price is consolidating here. So what I'm going to do is mark out the volume profile till the breakout of this low. So after this candle, we had a breakout. And you can clearly see we have a D shape. Most of the transaction, okay, we just crashed here. So let me just go back. Okay. Most of the transaction happened in the middle, right? Notice the shape of the volume profile, it is D shape, right? Most of the volume is within the value area high and value area low. Now, we went up the value area high, we broke out of it, but there was no consolidation above it. We went below the value area low, there was no consolidation. We went back to value area high. We then broke out of the value area low once again, there was no consolidation whatsoever. However, when we broke out this time, notice what happened here. We started forming a new balance below this balance, meaning that the participants are accepting lower prices and they're going to push the price down. So what happens next, guys? If we drag this along, what can you see? We broke out of this level. We had a breakout here. We came back, retested this level, and we pushed down. Where did we go? Look at this breakout to the downside. Okay. Now, using order flow, you could have taken an entry somewhere here. I'm going to teach you that later on in the videos, guys. Trust me. Okay. And here we had an initial breakout. We could have taken that as well. But a cleaner retracement here, right, would have been better. But then you can, put this win rate on steroids by using order flow. Again, I'm going to teach you later on in the video. But simple stuff, guys, you identify consolidation range. Make sure the consolidation range is big enough, okay? It shouldn't be small like this because you don't have enough room. And this is one way I use volume profile. I identify consolidation, but then I also use the daily volume profile. So what I mean by this? So what I do is I go here and I use my fixed range volume profile from the midnight, which is 12, till 9:29. Okay? And here, guys, the daily profile, what is the daily profile showing you? It is a D shape, right? So we can expect a breakout, right? So what happened initially? This is the value area low, okay? So we went from the value area low to the value area high, right? We broke out of this level, but there was no consolidation. We kept on creating higher highs and higher lows. Higher high, and then a higher high, and then a higher high. This is not consolidation, okay? And then we pushed back down, right? We broke below the value area low. There was no consolidation below the value area low, okay? You could say that this was consolidation here, but again, in this case, what you can see, guys, is we are constantly creating a lower low, like this. This is not considered consolidation. Once again, what did we do? We go back up to the POC level and we broke out once again after the market open, and that's when you ideally want to trade. You can clearly see, first of all, we have consolidation here. This is clear. I'm not making this up. Look at this. Isn't it clear? This consolidation right here, below the value area low, after we broke below this level, right? Now this, after the breakout, this could have been your short position right here. And then you could have taken some continuation trades. So for example, we have another balance forming around here. So let me just mark this out like this. What do we have? Once again, guys, D shape, right? But since we're coming from here, what we need is a breakout below this range. So let me just draw it out like this. This is consolidation, right? So it would be something like this. Since our bias is bearish after this daily profile shape and the breakout here, what do we get? We first of all tap back into the previous balance. We push down. What happens next? We go back. Where do we go? We tap into this auto block over here. ICT concepts. And then what do? We push down. We form a new consolidation here. What happens next? Price comes back. Where? Inside this fair value gap. We could have taken that as well. Or you could have waited for a retest once again. Let me move on to the next example now. All right, guys, here is another example. So what I do is I use the daily volume profile. So from midnight during Asia session till 9:29. Okay? Just like that. Cool. So we have the volume profile. And what is the shape of the daily volume profile? It is a D shape. Notice this shape over here. It is not P. Otherwise, most of the volume, the transaction would have been here. Okay? Let me show you a P-shape example. So just so there's no confusion. Okay, this is what P-shape looks like. Look at this, right? But I'm not going to explain what you do with this profile. So let me just go back and redraw out the volume profile. Okay, before the market open, just before the market open, what did we have, guys? We want to ideally trade after the market open. 9:30 is my trading window, and you should do that as well because that's when most of the volume kicks in. So we don't care about what happened here or here before the market open. But just before the market open, look what happened. This is the value area low. This is the value area high. This is the POC. We broke below the value area low. And what did we do within this range, guys? We consolidated. Is it clear? We are consolidating here. below the value area, meaning that the participants are accepting the new balance here. I'm looking at on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, this is so powerful that I don't need to look at the higher time frames, even though I'm going to go over that in the upcoming videos. But notice we are consolidating here. What happens at 9:29? We broke out of this level. We broke below this consolidation level. What you could have done here, taken an entry on the retest, put your stop above the value area high, which is right here. And guys, look at that. Look at that move. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Now, what do we have here? Consolidation. So what we can do is mark out this level like this. This is the initial consolidation. We broke out of this consolidation to the upside, but what is our bias? According to the daily volume profile, what is the bias? It is bearish. So if I drag this consolidation here, what happened here, guys? We broke out of this consolidation, right? And we pushed back up. And then, of course, we have what? A fair value gap, guys. You could have used the 50% of the fair value gap. But again, I'm showing you in hindsight because I would have caught a move somewhere around here or probably even here using order flow. But then again, you can see prices distributed lower. So if it's clear, let me know in the comments, guys. Very simple stuff, okay? We use the volume profile, and let me just go over this again here. If we are somewhere around here, okay? And we use our volume profile till the initial breakout. Now, in this case, we have a P shape, okay? I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of what you can do with the P shape. So whenever we get a P shape, right, from this volume profile zone, it means that the most amount of participants are buyers. And they are most likely to push the price higher, okay? So what happened here? What we do when we have a P-shaped volume profile is we look for a breakout. We take it into the retest. But I'm going to go over that later on in the upcoming videos. But that's going to be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this first lecture, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.